Am I live? Well, good evening. Good evening, everybody. This show opens up with a laugh by Jimmy and Dave. This is show number 184 of the Jimmy Palumbo Show. Good afternoon, everybody. Well, good afternoon, good evening, everybody, and welcome to show number 184 of the Jimmy Palumbo Show, coming in live from downtown Mahwah. And of course, you got Stay Alive by the Southern Cross Band to open up the show. And of course, behind the glass here at Shea is Dave Sturcio from downtown Dunellen, from the Attic Studios. Dave Sturcio, welcome to show number 184.
This is a 1J Novacek day.
Yes, now, of course.
Shea.
I've got my Tyson Hogan jumping in, telling me what guys I'm going to use. Of course, top of the show, it's 184. So number 84, Zeke Mowat for the football Giants. Also, Joe Juravicious. Remember him, Dave?
Oh, yes, I do.
And of course, I do the show for two reasons. I do the show for Steve Venditti and Dave's father. That's why I do the show, okay? Even though Dave's father listens probably one every 9 shows, he'll listen because I'm going to say show number 1, Walker Gillette. That's a cowboy name you haven't heard in quite some time. And of course, you've heard me say a million times that there's only been one tight end on the Cowboys. People think it's been different players, but Giant fans know differently. It's been the same guy. And it started out with Doug Cosby back in the 70s, which led to like Jay Novacek and then Witten, and whoever they have now probably stinks, and that's why he's probably going to get cut.
No, he's good. He's good. He's actually very good. Good luck on Thursday.
Who is he?
Jake Ferguson.
He stinks. Anyway, so he stinks, bro. Compared to Novacek and Witten, stinks. Anyway, so Walker Gillette, that was for Dave's dad, and of course, Joe Juravicious, Steve Venditti just drove off the road. But we are show 184, and it's exciting to be here because we have a lot to talk about with all our fine sports teams winning and losing. At least Dave is invested in Rutgers, and that helped him out. And I'm here wearing my tacky perfect shirt, so I am ready to go. But of course, at the top of the show, I grabbed from the stack of shitty baseball cards. And I came up with this guy. Is just... If you don't know this guy, Dave, this guy is just a household name. Well, not really true. He's barely known in his own household. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Carl Nichols.
Oh, Carl Nichols, the clobbering Carl. This is great. I have no idea who that is.
Now, Carl Nichols played from 86 to 91, 6 years in the bigs. He was a catcher and a right fielder. He batted .204. No home runs and 18 RBIs. I did that in 4 games last year in softball. He played with Baltimore and Houston. Back in 87, though, he was 8 for 23. He didn't play that much. 4th round draft pick, 1980. He was traded to Houston, though, from Baltimore for these 2 big guys, Vic Height and Dave Johnson. Not Davey Johnson, Dave Johnson. He also played in the Northern and the Western League. So he had everything going right there. He's an LA kid. He works with the MLB in the Urban Youth Academy here at Shea. But the funny thing is, there's always something when you Google. He is the uncle of famous Cardinal Ray Langford, who played center field for a long time. Good player, Cardinal Hall of Fame. When you make the Cardinals Hall of Fame, you got to go on. They've been around since like 1904. And he's a Cardinal Hall of Famer. So that's it. Carl Nichols, there he is. There's even nothing on the back of the card. He averaged around 20 at-bats a year. Carl Nichols, come on down. Tyson Hogan with a quick 3 out of the box. Tyson, I mentioned, for those of you listening on the audio, Tyson Hogan always chimes in. Him and Dying Breed, Pena, hopping in on our thing. But Dave just told me that in bigger news, we are actually reaching more people than I thought. I do the show just so I can talk to Dave for an hour. And it turns out the way we did our math, this is Sturcio math, so Cowboy fan, you got to watch. He thinks we're reaching about 1,000 people, which is really good. So thank you to my fans, and especially a big thanks to my Patreon fans. Now, we're mired. We are mired. I'm going to get a shirt that says mired. We are mired in a slump. We're stuck at 44. We're stuck at Reggie. That's understandable. Dave Winfield had the same problem. And that's a very funny joke. We have I want to give a shout out to, you got to go to patreon.com, Patreon, and you click up the Jimmy Palumbo Show and see if you want to spend $3 a month to support the show. So there's other amounts you can click on. But I want to give a big shout out to Robin Achani, who listens in. She might be listening now. And also, who else do we got? Will Pena Day at Shea. Dying Breed Garage. If you have a dying car, bring it to him and he breeds another one or something. I think he fixes up hot rods. That's cool. And also a shout out to my brother, Frank Palumbo, who spent a lot of money on us this weekend at Virginia Tech. And he spends a lot of money on Dave Sturchio's Rutgers tickets too. And Darryl Clark, my Louisiana veteran, coming in here, LSU Saints. More on that later. So that's it. So go to Patreon, sign up. But I thank everybody. I really do. It's help pay some of the bills here for this fine show. Which, of course, segue day here at the Omni. I haven't said the Omni in a while. I feel like I got away from the Omni a little bit, Dave. What do you think about that?
It's funny you mentioned that because somebody, there was, and not that you watch wrestling, but there was a promo done that was shot at Georgia Tech the other day between Cody Rhodes, which is one of the most popular polarizing superstars going right now, son of Dusty Rhodes. I'm sure you know who Dusty Rhodes is.
Yes, I do.
So then there was a promo between him and Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns is one of the most polarizing guys. He's cousins with The Rock, right? So they had a promo, and Cody Rhodes used a line.
You mean he's cousins with Tim Reigns, right? Rock Reigns.
No, different Reigns, different spelling.
By the way, Tim Reigns much bigger than The Rock. He's our Rock Reigns. Remember that?
Yeah. Well, anyway, so Cody was doing his whatchamacall, he was doing his shtick, and he was like, "Hey, my dad used to perform down the road at." He called it like whatever the sponsor is. He goes, but some of us know it as the Omni in Atlanta.
There you go.
And he said it. And I was like,
that's the Omni. From the Omni. So we are not coming to you live from the Omni, but we always say we're from the Omni. People think we do the show from Shea and the Omni, and you should think that, because I know poor Dave Sturchio's.
Sam, I don't know what. Listen, I don't want to cut Sam off here, but I don't know what you're watching right now. But if you want me to take a screenshot of the actual live list, like viewer count, it's up to 30 right now. So I don't know what stream you're listening to.
And what's with the Sam Grasso cheap shit? Now, first of all,
what's with that?
Time out that. Which Grasso is this? I know like 30 Sam Grassos. I don't know. One's a Cowboy fan, one's a Giant fan. I have no idea which one this is.
This one's the Bucks fan, and and by the way, up to 34. Keep it going, people. Share the show. Let everybody know, and let everybody know that Sam Grasso is dead wrong. So.
Well,
Sam, if there was 5 people listening to this show, I wouldn't do the show on Tuesdays.
So wait, Sam Grasso's from Colonia, right?
Yes, the entire Grasso bloodline.
But wait a minute, though. He's closer to my age. I thought he was there's one of the Grassos a Cowboy fan.
Yeah, I believe it's his brother.
Okay. All right, Sam, we still love you, even though you're a jerk.
Which I can't. I honestly, like, he's.
Wait a minute. Hang on a second. Hang on, Sam. Hang on. Let me throw you under the bus. That's funny. I don't see your name on the Patreon list. I'm not sure what's going on there.
No. He'd much rather spend all his money.
He'd rather
spend all his money on memorabilia that he's not going to pick up at the studio. That's right. What he wants.
There you go. All right. I think he's got 4 kids too, trying to go to college. So it's okay. Hold up on the Patreon. We love you, Sam. Thanks for checking in. Of course, chasingmiracles.com for a quick 3 out of the box. Go to chasingmiracles.com for these stem cell patches. They're awesome. I'm wearing one now. My daughter uses them. They also sell these coral calcium packs that are good for replenishing your body, really making water better. And they sell these stuff in the bodybuilding stores for $9 a can. You could spend a little bit and throw it in your water. You're good to go. Better energy, better sleep. They're non-invasive. When you take these patches, Dave, what can you do?
Oh, you can absolutely pee in a cup and pass a PED test.
There you go. That's what, because listen, we're going to get more about my diet coming up in a few minutes. Check it out, chasingmiracles.com. Talk to Tommy and Donna. They got a bunch of products in there. You're going to dig this shit. Trust me on that. All right. Well, first of all, we got to discuss my trip to Blacksburg, VA, and the Rutgers Virginia Tech game. I have a lot to talk about with this because I think some of it's funny as hell, including my diet. It was a 7.5-hour ride, brutal, no traffic though. You basically drive through 17 states. We were in Wyoming for 22 minutes. We also were in West Virginia, Maryland, regular Virginia, New Jersey, Pennsylvania. I was like, Jesus Christ.
He said regular Virginia.
Yeah, the regular Virginia. So we ended up staying at an Airbnb around 6 miles away. My brother took care of all this. But my brother, God bless him, he took care of it by clicking on a button, done. He was like checking tickets, yes. Airbnb, yes. He didn't, and no thought into sleeping arrangements. So he spent about $8,000 on the whole trip. And me and him, not $8,000, probably $5,000. We said $8,000 to bust his balls, but it was tickets and everything, beer, food, everything else. He was treating because his son went there, my nephew Tommy. But me and my brother are the two biggest Rutgers fans. We are the rock of the Rutgers fans. We had to sleep on a couch. Okay, I slept on a leather couch that was like, it probably had ass on it since the late 60s. I felt like I was fucking a horse all night. The smell of this old leather couch was awful. My brother's in the other room snoring, and I could hear him. So I put the TV on. But of course, people, please keep your cable. You cannot have anybody come to your house unless you have a guy, pay a nanny, instead of a nanny for your kid, pay a nanny to stand by your television so someone else can operate to find any programming. The only channel I could find was a channel called The Love Boat. And it just showed 24 hours of The Love Boat. Now, let me tell you something.
Love Boat.
Okay, by the way, there was like 2 different theme songs, and then somebody else sang it. I was watching the late seasons that nobody was watching there. So all I did was watch Love Boat and Rutgers. We're sitting on a couch. So me and my brother laughed over that. We got my brother set a whole thing up with tents right in front of where they play basketball. And it was right next to the big Rutgers tailgate that you pay $20 for. A bunch of boobs were at that one. We had bad Southern rock music cranking up, annoying everybody. It was a beautiful day, a little hot, but we had perfect tailgate scenario, just perfect. But we had to pull the car. You're not allowed to pull your car up when we were tailgating. So me and my brother-in-law, Steve, we had to drive to park. It was like 3/4 of a mile. I was like, hey, wait a minute. Like, we don't know this campus. I'm literally thinking like a helicopter. Like, how would I get to my tailgate via the air? That's all I knew. I'm walking through buildings. I don't know what the hell's going on. I'm asking some cadets because they're a big military school down there. And I'm like, hey, how do I get to I'm near the basketball arena. The guy was telling me literally, well, he said, if you go by helicopter, I'm like, I've already been doing that for a half a mile. Sweating like a pig, no beer on me. I get to the tailgate, immediately start over. I'm drinking one of many Miller Lights. And it was awesome, though. We had perfect seats. A lot of people were booing us and stuff. Virginia Tech fans were looking at us like, oh, yeah, you guys are they were totally going to win. They totally thought, like, got a little break in the schedule. We're playing Rutgers. And I'm like, oh, these guys are in for a rude awakening.
Before you get into the game itself, how was the actual atmosphere of the stadium with the crowd?
That's what I'm getting to. So we walking into the stadium, it was cool. It's bigger than Rutgers. The building was built in '65, but it's very like it's just a very cool thing, and they have a better fan base than we do, because if you live in Blacksburg, the only thing to do is to mow your lawn and go to the Virginia Tech games. There's nothing. There's like limited bars even there. It's a small ass town. So the atmosphere was really cool. But I got to be honest with you. Maybe I had a little chip on my shoulder. I admit it. The whole Enter Sandman thing, it was cool. I videotaped it. But I'm sorry, we go to Penn State, man. 110,000 people there, and we are Penn State, like that's like, I think the Virginia Tech thing is cute for like the ACC teams, like NC State, North Carolina, maybe not Florida State, but like if you play in the Big Ten and you got to go to the Big House and Penn State and these other schools, I mean, it was cool. Of course, you know, a material I was doing. We were getting our beers, and I'm like, told my brother, Frank, we got to get in there. They copied that thing with Mariano Rivera. It's a tribute to Mariano Rivera. I was pounding that. I was like, we did this in 94, 95, busting everybody's balls. Of course, we were in the only strip of the Rutgers fan. We were a feisty bunch, though. Now, I drank at least 15 beers on Friday night.
Nice.
I had at least, no, I shouldn't say. I had at least 10 beers Friday night. Saturday, we got there 5 hours before the game. It was hot, so do the math. We were pounding there, so I made sure, because there was steep steps. I was like, "Hey, Jimmy, don't go flying down here." Yeah, but I was on the edge where the Virginia Tech section started next to me. So when we scored our first touchdown, you know, when we made them punt, I was like, "This is Big Ten football. This ain't ACC." One guy, hear the guy across with his wife goes, "Oh, I got to sit next to this guy." And I heard it. I heard him say it. And all of a sudden I just yelled out, I love saying, "We're going to be here all day, baby." I always love to say that. It. And then the game, the Enter Sandman thing, I got to admit, it was cool. It was totally cool. It's cool to actually be and see it and stuff like that. But I think it's better at night. A day game, 3:30 doesn't have the same. But the stadium was packed for sure. And then the game started. First half, look, I don't care what anybody says. We're better than Virginia Tech. I think we're a lot better than Virginia Tech. Okay. I kept on hearing about this quarterback. I think this quarterback Downs, whatever his name is, Drones. I can't even think of his name. He stinks. He looked like Wimsat. He overthrew balls. Like, we've seen that. I even told the guy next to me, I said, "Dude, we had this for 2 years. So you guys, you stink." I don't think this kid's that good at all. You got to be able to throw the football. This isn't 1941 with the four horsemen running around. You got to, this ain't the Packers in the 60s. You have to pass. Look at that Shedeur Sanders. And I can't stand him, but, you know, he rolls out and flicks a 49-yard touchdown pass.
What's this guy put everybody on notice last night, man? Jaden Daniels. Holy shit.
Yeah, well, same thing. You got to be able to throw.
Like a ball.
And but you know, it's great if you can run, but you have to throw. And I don't think that kid's that good. My opinion, just sitting there in the stands, 7 miles away in the upper deck. But the second half, Virginia Tech got it going a little bit. I'm sorry, me and my brother had some arguments. There was a couple of key plays. We fumbled at the 3. That was key. We missed a field goal. We also went for 4th.
Tell went like 1 for. I think he went 1 for 3. He missed 2 field goals.
Yeah, and he also missed a 52-yarder, which should have never been. You don't make a kid kick a 52, even though he's supposedly the kid's good. I get it, but on the road, 52, you know, a 52-yarder. And to me, though, the key is you got to go up by 19 in college football. The NFL, it's hard to score when you're down by 16 in the NFL. Everybody's like, okay, you know, 2 8s and we tie it. Yeah, but getting a 2-point conversion in the NFL when everybody runs a 4-1 is very different than in college when there's always one guy who was at White Castle last night. So I always say go up by 19 and the game's over. When they started to make their comeback, half the stadium was empty. A lot of people were filing out. It wasn't that
really.
Big. Oh yeah. See, Rutgers is different. Nobody shows up and everybody leaves early, so it's like there's no one there. But we hung tough. Great interception by the kid. And of course, Monungai, who didn't have a great game, only 84 yards. They shut him down, but that opened up tight end passes. The running game opened things up. I thought Athan, the Greek, had a great game. He threw a couple of bombs down the sideline, and this is for Rutgers fans only if I'm boring you to death. You know, in the old days when any quarterback on Rutgers threw like a 40-yard down the sidelines, the ball always landed off the coolers, off the running backs coach caught it. It bounced around. They had a ref had to go get it. This time, it was right on the edge, clearly out of bounds, but the receiver caught it. I know you're a football fan. Dave, don't you love when the guy – because I think when you catch it, the defensive back's like, out of bounds. And inside he's like, shit, that guy had me
saved your ass.
Yeah, right, you know what I mean? So I love that. I think the kid had a great game. I think that's going to be the difference. And listen, a year ago, we were down 20-3. Game is over. I don't think so now. I think we can come back with this quarterback. I think he throws a nice ball. And Virginia Tech's not that good. We're 3-0. We won the game. And I ordered my shirt for the blackout on Friday, which Dave Sergio's coming to, with my buddy Mark Agliata, another fellow Cowboy. I'm going to be driving down with 2 Cowboy fans. How awful is that? But I want to discuss my diet, Dave. I know you're a dietitian. You spent years studying diets, even though you don't eat meat, which is crazy. So this diet may give you the shivers. By the way, this is a very accurate diet I had this weekend. We made 2 stops at the Waffle House on the way in and on the way out. I got the All-Star breakfast, which was two eggs, toast, bacon, and a waffle and home fries. Okay, well, I made him throw the extra onions in. Then at night, Friday night, we grilled. I was behind the grill. I was the grill master. I had 2 hamburgers with lettuce, tomato, mayo, right? Then egg whites, very little oil. There you go, Troy. In the morning, I had 2 Taylor ham and egg cheese sandwiches before we left for the field. At the tailgate, I had 3 hot dogs, and not the little soubrette ones, the big whore hot dogs, okay, with sauerkraut. My brother always has a little can with kraut. It's so fun.
My dad's a big hot dog guy.
Okay, your dad would have fit right in with us. And him and Walker Gillette. And then also I had four. You got to tell me if your dad listens to the show. If he doesn't, I had 4 Entenmann's chocolate-covered donuts over the course of the weekend. It was like whoever eats a half a donut, I think is a creep. So someone in my gang was a creep. You know, when you open up that Entenmann's donut, you grab one. Dave, do you agree with me on that? You grab a donut.
Listen, the only time I've made a mistake in that regard is when I thought one was like a glazed donut and it wound up being like some kind of plain shit, and I was just like, I can't even finish this shit. So I gave it to my kid, but hey, you want to have a donut? Go nuts.
You give it to the dog. You don't leave. People cut it in half. Just one of those chocolate covered Entenmann ones. So, and then of course I had 25 Miller Lights in the course of 48 hours. Definitely had a nice buzz on. My cousin's kid Matthew he got a taste of some salty language. Bunch of us watching the Yankee game, and so I should be dead in 5 days. But it was also, wait a minute though. Here at Shea, got to mention it. Another thing, during the game, every time someone went down to get a beer, those 16 ounces. Someone always brought back like 4 beers. I casually had 4 16 ounces during the game.
Well, listen, you've made it a point last episode or the episode before that. So this week, I will buy your brother a beer.
Oh yes, you will buy one on Friday for sure. We'll make a big deal about that. Actually, we'll talk off the air. We're gonna be a little more supplied on the way in.
I'm with it,
but it's a perfect setup for you and I because I'm driving to you with my buddy Mark. We pick you up. We go to the game. My buddy Mark's driving home, so you and I can just get sloppy. We'll drop you off right in front of your door, and he's dropping me off right in front of my door. So
I will army crawl my ass back to the front door.
And so we definitely got to buy. We'll talk about off the air. We have to have supplies, and we should provide. I haven't bought a beer for that tailgate in 2 years, so I'm due. So
Jimmy
that's it.
On the Babe Ruth diet. That's a great one.
I got home literally. By the way, since I got back, I've had nothing but sliced tomato and salads. I was like, I got to clean my body.
Yeah, I'm on a protein shake kick for the last couple of days myself. So,
dude, I felt on the ride home, I had like agita. We listened to I'm going to talk about the Giants in a second. Anyway, well, I'll talk about it. But I ordered my black shirt. You got a black shirt for the blackout?
That's what I wore. I wore it to both games.
Okay, I didn't know. You see, you were not doing the blackout. You were doing the red out at the blackout. And don't you think it should be a red out with the Scarlet Knights? Scarlet Knights. What does Scarlet mean, Dave? Red, correct?
It's a shade of red, yeah.
Yeah, okay. And now it's this color. That's what we should be. Tacky perfect day. All right. So yeah, big Rutgers game this week. I don't know if they're gonna win.
Well, let me riddle me this. You're more of the college savant that I am. The Washington's coming in 3-1, right?
Uh-huh.
They were one of the top 5 teams in the country last year.
Okay.
Why are they not ranked?
Lost their coach, lost their quarterback.
Yeah, I understand that, but you're still 3-1. Like, no.
Okay. Who did they beat? They beat Lindsey.
I don't know. Yeah, I'm just saying. Like, I found that weird that AP wouldn't put them up just until they lose.
No, we're favored. Rutgers is favored.
No shit.
Yeah, Rutgers. Washington, they struggle with somebody. They beat Northwestern 24-5. But listen, they got talent there, and we're Rutgers. The thing with Rutgers is any given moment, we can explode and suck. That's my experience. But if we play well, we should be in the game Friday, and it should be a near sellout. We're going in early. I want to be like in the building because we get a beer in there anyway. What are we doing at the last half hour? Besides talking about nothing. We'll go in, get a beer. I want to be there early, see them run out, and get everybody fired up. We're 3-0. Let's enjoy it.
So you're basically 3 wins away from a bowl game already.
Yeah, but you know what? We can easily go 3-9 if you look at the schedule. Everybody has traditionally been better than us. So the next 9 games. The Giants, I did the great thing. We listened to the entire Giant game on the radio the entire way home. Bob Papa and Carl Banks. Oh, he's so great. Carl Banks.
Howard Cross on the sidelines.
Yeah, Howard Cross, nice guy, gives you nothing. But Carl Banks.
We're either me or you are introducing him at the golf outing that we got to go to next week. Right. So yeah,
Monday, right? We got to do that Monday.
Yeah.
I forgot about that. No, it's on my schedule. No, Carl Banks, he's so great. And Howard Cross is a really nice guy, but Carl Banks really rips on the Giants. But I don't know if anybody out there, listen, I know you don't listen to the radio. I love listening to a game on the radio when you have nowhere else to be and you got to drive. And the radio just puts you in, you start creating like the theater of the mind. That's what it is. It was awesome. Jug Cam Tyson with a quick 3. It was just great listening to it. The Giants, listen, first half, they look like the 86 Giants. And second half, they look like last year's Giants. But you know what, though? Okay, I've been brutal on the Giants. And I've been brutal on the Giants since my podcast started, I think. A couple of things, though. You guys with your fantasy, looking at the numbers, tell you what, we haven't lost to every team we lost to is great. And I'm telling you right now, you were wrong about the Redskins. I watched that. Redskins are good, bro. Jaden Daniels is a badass. They're good.
I just said that. I just said
their
it.
Offense.
Yeah, last night, a viral tweet that I put out last night was the Cowboys are the worst team in the NFC East. That's what it feels like right now. Which is
bottom line is the Giants stink, but they lost to a 3-0 team, the Vikings, and a 2-1 team, the Commanders. But I'm not sold on the Giants. They look so bad at the end. But you know what? They are second in the league in sacks. And what do they say? Protect the quarterback. And Jones hasn't been sacked all that much. It's a big deal. I think we got more sacks than the Cowboys do, for Christ's sake. But a lot of teams do. The Cowboys were awful. If you're an anti-McCarthy or Jones or you're one of those guys, Cowboy fans, that was a feeding frenzy. There was blood in the water there because it was just a mess. And they scrambled at the end. But I feel like I've seen the Giants do that. Bad teams do that.
Listen, that score does not dictate how that game went at all.
Right.
At all.
They were.
We got worked for 52 minutes.
Right. Yeah. And Prescott didn't necessarily have a bad game, but I tell you, it looks like there's some. Gucci's the one who told me a long time ago this Mike McCarthy sucks. And I was like, what are you talking about? Now I kind of see it. They look a little, but you know what? What do I say about the NFL? Week to week league. The Giants have to play the Cowboys Thursday at Giant Stadium. We haven't, if the Giants were getting 25 points in the last 12 Cowboy games, the Giants still wouldn't have covered.
I don't even know the spread.
It's got to be 7.
Cowboys have to be, I would assume the Cowboys are favored but not by like,
not by the 12. No. Well, maybe it's 7. Someone should know that. Maybe Kyle will check in. I don't know how the Giants are going to do. I'm just going to watch the game and hope. If the Cowboys
same
play
here. Same here.
It's very similar to actually, it's a little bit of a desperation game, if you ask me.
Listen, the loser of this game.
Loser's gone, man. The loser's
is Gonzo, right? But I tell you what, man, I'm going to be there. Me and my brother are going, and I don't know, man. This is the first time I'm walking in the Giants Stadium. The Cowboys haven't lost to the Giants in 7 years, right? It feels like, right? And
Cowboys are given 5.5.
All right, well, still,
that's got to be the lowest. Favorite. That's the lowest point spread in a long time.
Yeah, man. I just I don't know, man. This is the first time I'm walking into MetLife where I'm like, don't know what to expect. I just
No.
don't know what this defense is. Probably the worst defense I've seen historically in my lifetime. Maybe, I don't know. Like, this is they're getting run on, and when you can pound the football, it opens up everything else. Like, Devin Singletary might have himself a career day against the Cowboys on
thank
Thursday.
thank God you don't play the Redskins, because they score on every possession. The Giants, though, I don't think the Giants have enough bullets in the chamber. I don't know. I'm a little, you know what? When are the fans going to start getting on Parsons a little bit? 3 games, 1 sack.
Oh, they are. No, they are. And the worst part is, Jimmy, and we can appreciate this as podcast hosts. He has his own podcast, which he airs on Mondays on Players' Day Off, and people are just, for the last 2 years, they've been like, get off the mic, get back to the practice field, blah, blah, blah.
I agree.
Like, I'm half. I'm like, all right, like, listen, a professional athlete making the money he's making right now, there are far worse things that he could be doing on a Players' Day Off than speaking on a podcast. The problem is his context is a little brutal, because he's actually like ripping on other players in the league, which is like, buddy, you got that's shit you got to stop, because it's like people will work you for that.
I'm going to give you a professional angle on it, and you'll agree with this. Me and you know how hard it is to fucking get podcasts and listeners. It's pain in the ass. It's hard. And this guy's got a big fan base, blah, blah, blah. And he's on the air. And when you're winning and you're sacking the quarterback, I'm sure he's got tons of listeners. But you know what? Fuck him. He's like, from a podcast point of view, not from like a Cowboy point of view. Fuck you. See how tough it is to run a podcast when fans think you suck, like the way Tyson Hogan's think I suck.
And the way Sam came in here blazing saddles.
Sam Brett's a Buccaneer fan. I thought, Milwaukee Bucks. I don't want to hear about it. Now we got a couple of things quickly. Again, me and you are starting to agree more on stuff, which is scary. The Chiefs, they're getting lucky, like they're getting lucky every quarter to me. Now, don't get me wrong. Mahomes, they got great players, great coach. I get it, but like, come on, man. They get lucky on big plays all game long. You can't touch Mahomes. I tell you, my nephew, I love him. He's a big Chiefs fan, but you are playing with you know what you're doing? You're hitting on 16 and getting it every time. And let me tell you something. You hit on 16 long enough, you're going over. God, it's just like they just get lucky. Maybe that's a way. I think the Yankees were a little bit like that in 96 to 2000. If they were down 4-2, 4-1, you just felt.
Yeah, but Jimmy, the one call on Sunday night that made me just cringe is like, especially like when you have to say the referee was right there, like in real time. Like, there's a blatant pass interference in the end zone, and there's a back judge who's just like, what did he do? Like this, like, just look the other way. Like,
it's crazy.
Dude, it's right in front of you. Like, I understand that the NFL, and I said this on my show yesterday. I said, I understand that there's a specific thing they like to call ratings, right? And like, when there's good teams, you want to put those good teams on the air. You want them to do well. Like, the Cowboys being down 1-2 right now is not good for ratings, but if it's still September. So it's like, all right, calm down. But in December, if the Cowboys aren't competitive, they got to do so many like shifting of the networks and shit, because they expected to put the Cowboys on.
The Cowboys are unique in one way. Sometimes their ratings go up when they suck. Because
that's true too. Because
they have people that hate
Cowboys
them
fans as there are in the world. There's also Cowboys fans that football
a guy like me. I love watching them lose. But I think, like, if the Bengals lose, that doesn't bother me. Who cares? Bengals lose.
Nah, I don't give a shit. Like, I have to explain that to my kids every week when they see me watching a game that's not the Cowboys. They're like, "Who's good? Who do we like?" I said, "I hate both of these teams, right?" Or Daddy doesn't give a shit. Like, either way, it doesn't matter.
Well, you tell them you're rooting for injuries.
Not doing that.
That's a terrible thing. My uncle used to say that. Cowboys playing the Eagles, I watch the game, root for injuries. Horrible. The best team in the NFL, according to the tri-state area, is the New York Jets. I don't see it. I think they are so average. Oh, my God. What does everybody want? I watch the game, I'm like, all right. I don't think the Jets are that good. I still will prove that over time. Some good team's going to come in and knock them off. And that's it. Enough about the NFL. We'll do the stinks list in a little bit. Stinkless had a lot of changes this week. So Dave, rumor has it that you and I went to some parent-teacher meetings day here from the Omni. I went to mine. Two things were uncomfortable for me.
Well, it's not a parent-teacher yet. It's open. It's school, like back to school.
Yeah, back to school night. Same right. Shit. You walk through your kids' classes. That's what we had to do. When your kids get older, you'll see. You'll do that. Two things that were very awkward for me at the parent back to school night. The teachers that my daughter has were either smoking hot, where it was like one of the guys looked at me and goes, "Hey, Palumbo." I go, "Hey, stop. I couldn't." I was like, or
not now.
Yeah, not now. This one girl, I think a history. She was definitely wearing an LSU jersey, number 84. I was like, whoa, this is, you can't teach. What are you doing here? You should be out frolicking.
She's teaching history, but yet she wasn't born during 9/11.
Oh, no, right? Yeah, exactly right. Or each teacher, they were 8.5 months pregnant. I was like, I looked at the guy next to me. I said, wait a minute, she's backed up on her own 5 trying to boom one out of here. I mean, she is ready. She was ready. I was like, what is this? You can't even, everybody's pregnant or not. Oh my God, so funny. And then of course, if you know those things, all they do is say like, hi, I'm the math teacher. You have 8 minutes in the class by the time you sit down. Literally, this is what they said. Hi, I'm the math teacher. We're going to teach math this year. We're going to have some quizzes and some tests. And all of a sudden you hear, please move to the next level. You go to the next guy. Hi, I'm your chemistry teacher here. We're going to be doing some chemistry. We're going to have a couple of tests. It's like nobody said anything. The driver's ed teacher I was like, what are we doing here? But it was good to see it. And then another thing, some of the moms, I almost told one guy, dude, you can't bring your wife to these things. Is that wrong to do that?
Yes.
But Dave, when you take it I know you would get aggravated, but privately you'd be like, that's cool. Yeah.
Oh, hey, listen, don't get me wrong. Like, I got to pick up. I dropped off my daughter today, and I pick her up today. And I'll make sure that I'm on my P's and Q's of knowing my surroundings, right? And just to see like, hey, what's up, history teacher? You know what I mean? Like, but no, mine was completely different than yours. Like, obviously, Stella's not going to move from class to class, so it's just one class. But I tell you what, my go-to is just. There's oh, your kids left a surprise for all the parents, like a drawing, like a self-portrait or some shit, right? Best. And I sit down, and first of all, I sat down at Stella's desk, which was like, dude, first of all, my knees are at my chin, right? Because it's just like I can't.
By the way, when you sat down, that chair, I talked to the chair. He wanted to talk it over.
I was just gonna say that. But it's funny because like my first go-to, and this is terrible, but like I see my daughter's drawing, and I'm like, she's good, right? But then I look at the other drawings and I'm like, they're terrible. Yes. Like, what is wrong with these kids? Now, why can't they put a fucking smiley face on a guy?
Wait a minute. Did you leave a note in your daughter's thing?
Yes.
Of course. Because you know why? The first year, Palumbo handoff right side, balls loose. Oh wow. The next year, I there was like apples, oranges, letters, fruits. My
father would leave me a note in my lunch for the first day of school from all the way until I was a senior in high school. Like,
oh my God, that's so
great. So we, we kind of continued that.
Yes. So he should have, you know what? Your father should have gave you that for your first podcast. In other news,
he went to my wrestling show. My father went to my wrestling show.
We're going to get to that. I promise we would talk about that. Of course, pickleball, after losing in the league tournament, I'm back, bro. I got change of grip, man. As the jug goes up during the change of grip.
I'm sponsoring now. Look, sports fan, anybody? You can QR code that. That's a direct link to my fandom.
I love that. There you go. Dave is constantly selling. Yes, pickleball, I'm back. After my ranking dropped to like a 3-2, which is shitty. I got to make my comeback. I got to beat the shit out of people. I also passed on an audition this week. Now, I rarely in 33 years pass on auditions. But this one, I just, I had to look at my fan base and say, hey, we should not do this. It's for one of those, it's like an industrial 2 thing, so no one will see it anyway. And it's like it's the video that you click on if you're having trouble figuring out how to inject. a medication, and it's probably one of those fat medication, lose weight ones, Wegovy, right? The whole spot, Dave, is just me with my shirt up. And I was like, it's like, it's real simple. Just take the thing. And supposedly, then the thing said you will get an injection, but it's just going to be like water. Wait a minute. I'm going to sit there on camera for 9 hours for $400 and have my gut on camera for the rest of my adult life, and I won't have access.
What? Swallow your pride, you fat shit.
No way. No way. I said, you know what? I said, you know what? I ain't doing this. And then I got another audition for a film that didn't pay well, and I had 2 lines in it, and it was like, so I said, you know what? Coming up, you know what? These are called Rutgers is 3-0 passes on auditions, because I'm like, I'm like, I was like, wait a minute. I still have 120 credits. I've been in the league a while. I'm not playing for the Carteret Indians or the Carteret Commanders, whatever you want to call them. I've been in the league a little bit. A little respect. I got to have my own locker at least. So I passed on those 2, which I never do. And I'm still waiting to hear from some big one. And it was not called. If it was Call the Midwife, I would be an extra in that show, because by the way, Call the Midwife is like UConn in basketball right now. Okay. It just cannot be stopped. And we'll get to more of that in a second. All right. So where are we? Oh, of course, cornholelevel.com day here from the Omni. Dave, your cornhole has been in bad shape this year. But I forgot one thing, and I'm going to point to the R here. You are now relying on Rutgers for your enjoyment in football, Dave. I've been there for 20. Dave, it's the most. You're hitting on 17.
Listen. If the Cowboys go in there and beat up on the Giants as they should, I will say should. If they do that, I'll be singing a different tune next week. But okay. I am nervous. My cornhole is tight right now. I am not enjoying any of this.
Well, if you were at the Virginia Tech game when they tied it with 2 2-point conversions, my asshole got tight there for a little bit. But for some reason, I was more relaxed. Maybe because I was just smoking a pipe and having a cocktail, having a daiquiri while my asshole got tight at Virginia Tech. But if you go to cornholelevel.com, someone listening to the show is like, what are they talking about? Someone's going to be, all they do is talk about cornholes. Yeah. Cornholelevel.com, 20% off if you mention the JP show. This thing is awesome. You take it like this. It hooks right on like that. And then you move this thing, get that little whole thing right in the middle there, and boom. Perfect. Go check it out. Perfect stocking stuffer day here at Shea. If you know some jerk off who likes, by the way, there was cornhole tables all over Virginia Tech. That creeped me out. Of course, I didn't have any to walk around and say, hey, cornhole level.
What's wrong with you?
Go check it out. Cornholelevel.com. Talk to Mike Caprio, my second baseman, and he will go on the website, order the things and stuff like that. So, but they do sponsor, Dave, one of the most important moments in all of sports every Tuesday, the Jimmy Palumbo's NFL Stinks List. And here we go. All right. Buffalo Bills, very good. New York Jets, average. Miami Dolphins, stink. Patriots, stink. Oh, that's it. So we're going to do it. You're going to give the thought. So this is a great.
If I agree with you, my thumb will be up. If I don't, it'll be down.
Okay, here we go. Buffalo Bills, very good. New York Jets, average. Oh, bad. Miami Dolphins, stink. Patriots, stink. Pittsburgh Steelers, good. It's a halfway from Dave. Baltimore Ravens, average. Cleveland Browns, and the Bengals stink.
I don't want to say the Bengals stink. I mean, they're 0-3. I get it, but they're still good.
They're shot.
We'll see. Joey B.
Houston Texans stink. I don't care what their records is. They stink. Indianapolis Colts, average. Jaguars stink. Titans stink. Okay. Kansas City Chiefs. Sorry, I'm just giving them a good. I can't. I just did with the luck. The Los Angeles Chargers, good. Vegas and the Broncos, they both stink. That's it. I'm having trouble figuring out your thumb at this point.
I added a layer to the middle one. You're just completely lost.
Okay. I got the Washington Commanders good, and if they win next week, I'm popping them into a very good. I got the Eagles as average. I got the Giants for the first time, I think, in probably 30 weeks. I got them as average. They won a game. I got to get. Sometimes I'm kind. I give somebody if like an 0-13 team knocks somebody off, I give them a bump for that week. I got the Dallas Cowboys as stink right now. That probably the first time I've had them stink. Dave even agreed they stink right now, but they got a lot of talent there. We'll see what happens. They didn't have any sacks. That was awful. Minnesota Vikings. I got them as very good. Again, just because they're 3-0 and they beat the Giants, part of the joke.
Right.
Detroit Lions, I have them as good. They're holding serve there. I got the Green Bay Packers as average. Why? Because I think Love is average because the other guy came in and won the game just the way Love did. So good luck, Mr. Gucci. You have
I texted Gucci when they went up big, and I said, Jordan Love, ... system quarterback.
Yeah, there you go. He manages the game well.
Not right, but it's not accurate. But
to me, he looked like Lynn Dickey. Who was that quarterback back? Your father just drove off the road.
Don't drive him off the road.
I have Chicago Bears as stink. They stink. New Orleans Saints as good. I did that mostly for, Darryl Clark down there. He's suffering. I have
good. They had a bad break. It was weird.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers. I still think they stink. They lost to the Steelers, and the Steelers stink. Atlanta Falcons average. Carolina Panthers stink. Seattle Seahawks, I got them as very good. I don't know. I'm usually kind to the 3-0 teams, 4-0 teams. You got
fine. If the
record
is what you are,
listen, Geno Smith kicked the shit out of Rutgers when he played for West Virginia back in the day, which was like, I feel like Geno Smith played against Rutgers like 72-78 when I was in like St. John Vianney. I got Arizona Cardinals, Rams, and 49ers all average. Fair enough. So this week, stinks 13 teams. It was 15 last week. 10 averages. There was only 7 last week. 6 goods and 3 very goods. The very goods held their own. Nobody. Now, keep in mind, what goes into this stinks list. I read the power ratings on some of the websites. As the year goes on, it's very hard unless you upset somebody to be consistently out of your category on very good and stinks. The stinks list, once you get in there, man, it's hard to get us out of there. Like if the Cowboys were to lose 2 in a row, let's say from here, and they were 1-4, it'd be a month before I took them out of the stinks list. Giants, same way. So that's it. 13 teams in the NFL stink. And I got to tell you one story, and I know you go to the games with my brother now. We're in the back seat. My brother-in-law and sister are up front. We're listening to the game on the radio, and my brother is hard on the Giants. He doesn't understand any of the. He thinks the NFL. He hates. You think I hate the fantasy and the stupid people? He hates it all. He goes, "This game. What happened to this game?" When the Giants stopped them to end the game, my brother, without hesitation, looked at me and goes, "Cleveland stinks." There was no like. All right.
That is the narrative going around now because now that Dallas got ransacked 2 weeks in a row and the only team they beat was Cleveland. I'm like, all right, well, maybe Cleveland stinks. Like really bad.
Too funny. So that's it. That's my stink list. And of course, brought to you by Absolute Eyewear. I think we're going to be seeing Jay Bird on Friday. 42 Main Street, Woodbridge, 732-326-3937. I may stop by there tomorrow because I got to get glasses. I was going to say podiatrist. They're optometrist in Woodbridge, New Jersey, down by the train station. They got all kinds of sunglasses, eyeglasses. Charles Oakley drinks there. It's right next to the train station. The Woodbridge Brewery's there. Oakley's kids drink there. He's got to have his kids are probably old enough, right? I would assume.
First of all, I was going to say he went from him just being there to now he drinks at
well, because right next door is the Woodbridge Brewery, who should be sponsoring my show with the 1,000 listeners now. And we're a national show. And Rogan just called a timeout, but he's up by 35. We don't know why he called a timeout. Could be an injury timeout. We don't know.
His shoelaces are undone.
Yeah, or something went wrong with his headphones. He's going like that.
Yeah.
Go check him out. Absolute Eyewear. Craig and Janine Mashaw Jaybird. We'll see her on Friday. She's a big Rutgers fan as well.
Is it going to be an
We're
overall packed tailgate? Like,
yeah, this will be a big one. And the weather is supposed to be nice, which is good.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for listen. You'll see, Dave, when they get good. If they get good, not when, if they get good and it's raining, our tailgates are like, it'll be you, me, and my brother with the windbreakers on. It's so
The last
good.
one was light. I feel like it was you, me, your brother, like 3
Yeah,
other
because
guys.
they were playing Linden, whoever they were playing. Akron, like a shitty game.
Howard.
Howard Cross. But listen, Howard Cross. So Charles Oakley goes to Absolute Eyewear, and Howard Cross has his own college team. It's not a bad play. We got to talk about Beer League. As of right now, tickets are selling. And right now we're in the medium theater. We really want to get in the big theater. We have different options with theater because you don't want to be in a big theater if people don't show up. We got a little trouble. I got some family and friends who are out of town, which sucks. And also we have an issue with the Jewish holiday, which we had to get this thing. We didn't have many days available to do it. So that was the choice. It sucks that I thought we were.
Sam, you going? Sam, you get your ticket yet, buddy?
Yeah, Sam. It's not that expensive. It's $20. Hopefully we get some fannies in the seats because it's going to be a good night. Dave and I. Well, first of all, Dave and I don't know if you guys know, we're roommates now because I'm going to see him Wednesday. I'll see him Wednesday for a couple hours. We're going to the Smod Castle Theater, check out the facility and stuff. And then Thursday, I won't be with him, but Cowboys are playing the Giants, so it's like I'm with him, and I'll be like a ghost in the room, and I won't text him during the game. I'm good about that. And but I do got your father's number now, so I'll be texting your father about. I'm just gonna tell your father I mentioned Walker Gillette. Promise me you'll do that today. He'll laugh.
Yeah, I will.
And then of course Friday we'll be there hammered. We'll probably, dude, if we got someone else is driving us. Gonna be ripped. You're gonna be stumbling through the door as you get home. Daddy's home, and you're gonna come flying through. If they win,
hopefully they'll be sleeping by the time I get home. So,
hey, wait a minute though. If they win, we could be talked into like little old queens. I mean,
listen, I am all on board. Daryl Clark bought 5 tickets. Is that right?
Oh, he bought 5 tickets to Beer League.
Is he coming?
No, that's how great. And so of the 38 tickets, is that whatever the hell it is now? He's got 5, and he's not even going.
You know what? That's awesome support.
So we're actually going to. We're going to. You know what we should do? We should give them away then. Daryl, we got what promotion can we do to make? How do we even do that?
I don't know. We'll figure. I mean, we got like 2 weeks, so let me brainstorm on something, and we'll do something next week.
We could give it to a cast member. One of those kids would probably.
That's true.
But listen, I was gonna say maybe one of the kid actors has no money. I'm thinking me and Dave should take Daryl's tickets. We're just as broke as some of those actors. Beer League. Go to my social medias. Go to Dave's Crap, My Crap. It's Smod Castle. SMOD Castle Theaters down in Atlantic Highlands. Click on the site. Super easy to order tickets. We're going to be down there tomorrow talking to Ernie, who's partners with Kevin Smith, who owns the theater. We still got plenty of time to pack the place. Still working on, all the big fish to show up, which would be fun. So we need your help. Come out. It'll be a fun night. I really think people are going to enjoy seeing. Now, I got to say one thing. The short Game Day is only on DVD. As a matter of fact, Dave, I'm going to need your help with this tomorrow. He thinks it may not, the broadcast quality up on the screen could be shitty. Even though it looks good on my TV, my flat screen, you got to remember that was shot 25 years ago, 28 years ago. It's not digitized other than from the DVD. He's going to put it up I said, can you put it up? I want to see what it looks like. Because if it's, I guess people will get it. When something's shot that long ago, I guess people understand.
Yeah.
And it's probably taken off a VHS tape to a DVD. But it was shot in film. So I'm going to try to make some calls with some guys, see if I can get it digitized before that from one of the guys who worked on it. That guy named Joe Torina. I hope he's still alive. He worked on it, so I know guys are dead. So that should be fun just to check out the theater. We're also going to pick the bar we may go to before or after, so we'll have that set up. Call the Midwife, by far the best show on television. I'm in season 6, thoroughly enjoying it. New cast member, she hits a quick 3 off a timeout, I'll tell you that much. I also watched an episode of Perfect Couple. You were right, that shit is intense. There's a lot of characters run out of timeouts in that game. I'll tell you something, they need to talk it over. What else? What else I want to say? Oh, are you watching The Old Man on FX with Jeff Bridges and John Lithgow? That's a good one, man. It's
There's
another
too much
show.
shit there right now. I'm
I'm
behind.
Of course, I'm behind too. I'm on Call the Midwife. I'm in season 6. Been on for 13 years, for Christ's sake. But you know what it is?
I just started. I started Tulsa King season 2. So that's good. That was a good episode. And then I watched. Dude, first of all, you could tell it's gonna get crazy, but I watched.
Oh wait, I didn't. Did it air last night? Wait,
I didn't see. I haven't got a Tuesdays and Wednesdays are usually my nights to catch up on shows.
Oh, I think it airs. I think it airs tonight, if I'm not mistaken. Well, it could have aired.
But there's also the Aaron Hernandez stuff on Hulu.
Yeah, you know what though, dude? I can't. The reason why I'll end up watching it, but
and then I also I want to start the Penguin.
It's about bad people. Aaron Hernandez was a piece of shit who.
And his father was a jerk off, man.
No, it's like
if he's portraying this guy, it's like holy shit.
Those shows are just it's about pieces of shit having kids and pieces of shit, and then they're murdering people. And I think he murdered more than they let on. And
I'm hearing crazy things about this Menendez brothers stuff on Netflix. I'm hearing it's like a hard watch, and it's
that's why those shows. You know what? Call the midwife, shutdown corner, game over. Call the midwife. You go to bed. If your heart's going pitter-pat like you're watching Felix, the wonderful cat, you go to bed. It's nice. You hug your kids, give them a kiss on the forehead. You watch the Aaron Hernandez movie, you better pour a bourbon before you go to bed. It's awful.
You know what's crazy? A little side story real quick. My father's boss, who passed away a couple years back, his wife's father, so like, these guys met over time, is the creator of Casper the Friendly Ghost and Felix the Cat.
That's hysterical.
Crazy, right? Like crazy. And it was all like the Casper story is just like, it was one of those things where like the kid, Joan, I believe, Joan was like scared as a kid. And like, there is a ghost in your room, but it's a friendly ghost. And like, that was it. That was the creation of Casper.
Listen, I don't know. That guy, you would think that he would be. They made a bunch of movies and a horrific kid, by the way.
He's in the credits. He's in the credits of the movie with the modern movie. Yeah. There's
some bad kid videos that you're going to go through now. You're at when your kid's going to watch. You're going to be watching stuff. You're going to be like,
no. See, Jimmy, there's a couple things on either Netflix. I've kept my kids off of YouTube because Lord knows what you can find on there. But like, there is some stuff on Netflix that I think should not be allowed, even on Disney Plus. There should not be allowed because it's like as if I edited it, meaning like I have like very loose skills on editing, but like I edited it, and the guys, they're not from this country, and it's like a dad and a daughter, and they're like running around and like the shittiest editing of all time, but my kids love it, and I'm like, dude, these kids are being held against their will, like you could tell. Like it's insane.
But has your daughter got into any of that Barbie show the Barbie?
Oh cartoon? Yeah, the cartoon.
That was the only show when Natalie got a little older. I was like, Nat, Daddy can't watch this. It's horrific entertainment. And then when they got to the live action ones, I was like, Daddy can't watch this because everybody there is playing for LSU, and I'm a Rutgers fan. I do not need someone lining up single coverage on the right side. Palumbo, look at it, shook him at the line. Oh, look out. But that animated one, oh dear God. At least Miles is gonna watch like trucks banging into each other. But the girls get into these awful shows. Camp Hiawatha or something like that. Where do you hear that? You start singing the theme song. What am I doing? It's awful. That's just But like I said, perfect couple, old man, midwife, and beer league at Smodcastle, which is just a fine little mix. I wanted to bring up something else too. Well, first of all, shout out to my cousin Michael. You got this, brother. We sent you some videos, and you got this. We're gonna be all right. You're gonna get through it. You're gonna be a badass. And I also got to give a shout out to my brother Frank. He knows why. I'll leave it at that. And also to my cousin's kid, Matthew, who was at the Virginia Tech. I briefly mentioned it earlier, but he's 13 years old. And we had like 6 guys sitting on the 2 couches, one of which became my bed. and we were watching Yankee game. Stanton hit a bomb, which, by the way, thing on Stanton, he's one home run away with what, 5 games to go? No, 6 games left, right? He's got to hit one home run. He'll probably
they can win the division. They can win the division tonight.
Right, but they didn't home field throughout, which is big in my opinion. Everything goes to the Bronx. Hopefully, I figure Stanton 6 games ago, he'll play what, 3? So he's got to hit a home run in 3 or 4 games. He's starting to hit now, though. Hit one off the wall the night before Friday night. Hit a home run Saturday night.
Stanton gets a hold of one. It's one of the most violent swings you've ever seen in your life, which is great. But the problem is he just misses a lot too. You know what I mean? Like,
he's got that's it. I still think he's their best player. But once again, don't forget Soto is not batting .290 yet, but he could. And that whole thing, whether to sign him. But my cousin's kid, Matthew, we were a bunch of guys watching the Yankee game, and we weren't drunk, but let's face it, it was hot out. We were drinking all day. I probably had half a case of beer in me. So it was like all kinds of shit. I forgot the kid was not 16 yet. So he heard some New Jersey salty language, but I saw him laughing. And then, of course, someone put on because we don't have cable down there, because no one has cable anymore. Therefore, you really can't watch TV. Someone put the Bill Burr special on, which if he's not the best comedian in the last 20, I would love to see Bill Burr take on Maniscalco in the first round of the tournament. I think it's UConn going away up by 16. It's not even close. Bill Burr's so effing funny. So we had a joke with that. And that's it. So we got Giants, Cowboys Thursday. I wish I could be more cocky and it felt the Giants could win. I just don't.
Same.
I know, but you guys got, I think actually a short week, and we're going to get off now. I think the Cowboys having a short week helps them. Don't you think? A little less.
I mean, it's a quicker way to get the taste out of your mouth. But the problem is, like, when you have a short week like this and you actually, let's just say they go out and they beat the Giants, right? And then, unfortunately, it just puts a Band-Aid over a bad football team defensively.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? So
you want to have less days with the media, jerk offs like
you have a very good point.
You get right to it. I think if you're a really good team, the short week hurts you because the other team sometimes is coming off a longer, and it's always big if you play on Thursday. It's huge if you win. Everybody gets rest. And what, they're going to get 10 days off?
It's like a unofficial bye, really.
And that's it. All right. Well, that's our show. Big Rutgers game on Friday. We will definitely. You know what? We forgot to do it. No, we're assholes. We were supposed to shoot something. We have to do that Friday. We can put on social media.
We just better do it early, because if we go diving in, it'll be some bad stuff. But
I know that's so funny.
My boy Mike's coming in. He's so amazing gaming. He's
Are you?
I think he said he was going to go, so maybe we can link up as well.
Yellow Lot will be there. Come on by. And that's it. All right, everybody. We'll see you next week. Shout out to Carl Nichols. The nephew. That's the funniest thing of all time. Oh, wait, I forgot one thing. Pine Tar Bar and Grill. If you can't go to the Rutgers game, 609-489-4286, 121 South Main Street, Forked River. If you live down there, go check this guy's place out. Tommy Plinio. Tell him Jimmy Palumbo. You'll probably get a free beer easily. Also, Lisa Ruane, 201-725-1251. We should probably have some graphics for this when I do this stupid ad. We could do that. We'll work on that next week. Go check her out, 201-725-1251. If you're having a tough time, which a lot of people are these days, including myself, if Rutgers loses, you know what's going to happen. I could be in for a bad 24 hours, can't I? Giants get smoked, and then the Rutgers loses on Friday. I may want to talk it up. The Giant game will hurt. The Rutgers game, I'm exposed. I can get hurt. The announcer's definitely going to be saying, he's hurt as I go to my stool. And thanks to all my Patreons, Tyson and Daryl and Will and the rest of the gang that hopped in here, Sam Grasso. Even a thank you to Sam Grasso busting our fucking balls, which I would be doing if I was supposed to check it in. All right, kids, that's it, Dave.
Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.